Hola, estudiantes. It's Mrs. Santiago here, and today we're going to be taking the notes on direct object pronouns. I'm in your OneNote, Chapter 6, page 34, Direct Object Pronoun Notes. I'm going to eliminate the table of contents, and let's get started with the notes. So getting ready for DOPs, we have to start in English first. What is a DOP? Let's look at the English sentence structure. In sentences, you have a subject, a verb, and information. Look at the sentence, I cook the bread. Well, the direct object is the thing or person that receives the action. It answers the two questions, who or what. I cook, what do I cook? The bread. So in this example, the bread is your direct object. A direct object can also be a person, but we're going to talk about that in the next chapter. Think about it though. You could say, I talk to my friend. Who receives the action of talking? My friend. This time we're just going to focus on the what's or the things. So again, the direct object is the thing that receives the action of the verb. Think about Dora. Dora. Think about Dora. Direct object receives the action. Direct object receives the action spells out Dora. So let's take a look at the two example sentences. My dad cuts the vegetables. What does my dad cut? My dad cuts the vegetables. So the vegetables are the direct object. Jenny makes the taco. What does Jenny make? She makes the taco. So taco is the direct object. But you don't want to keep saying the vegetables and a taco. Jenny makes the taco. Jenny gives the taco. Bob eats the taco. Okay, so to avoid saying the same noun again and again, you substitute the noun with the direct object pronoun. In English, the direct object pronouns are, there are only two of them, it and them. Now rewrite the example sentences above using direct object pronouns. So first about my dad. So instead of saying my dad cuts the vegetables, what can we replace the vegetables, the direct object, with? What's the correct direct object pronoun to replace the vegetables? We would write my dad cuts. Now would vegetables be an it or a them? It would be them. My dad cuts them. Now you have a DOP, a direct object pronoun. Jenny makes a taco. Jenny makes. Does taco become it or them? It. Jenny makes it. Now you have a direct object pronoun. Takes the place of the direct object. So how does this, now that we understand it a little bit in English, how does this work in Spanish? Direct objects in Espanol. In Spanish sentences, you also have a subject and a verb and information. Yo cocino los huevos. The eggs are receiving the action of cooking. So when you say, what do I cook? I cook the eggs. So here, the eggs are your direct object. But I don't want to keep saying the eggs, so I'm going to learn how to say the direct object pronouns. But again, let's look at the sentences. Here's a couple of examples. Mi madre mezcla los ingredientes. Answer the question what or qué. ¿Qué mezcla mi madre? What does my mom mix? She mixes the ingredients. So the ingredients are my direct object. Yo como los nachos. What do I eat? I eat los nachos. So los nachos are the direct object. Muy bien. So to answer the question, what in Spanish, there are 4 direct object pronouns, and they are lo, los, la, and las. So lo and la both mean it. It masculine and it feminine. Okay, so these are both singular. Los and las both mean them. Los will be used for them masculine, and las will be used for them plural. So, I'm sorry, feminine plural. So masculine and feminine. So again, lo, singular, masculine, it. La, singular, feminine, it. Los, plural, masculine, them. Las, feminine, plural, them. Okay, so there are 4 DOPs. How do I know which DOP to choose to replace my direct object? To choose the direct object pronoun, look at the definite article of the noun you are replacing. But remember, if 2 items are named, then you automatically use the plural DOP. But be careful, if I was talking about buying el pan y la leche, one is masculine and one is feminine. If there's one masculine item, it always takes control and makes the nouns masculine, and therefore they take the masculine plural DOP, los. So together, these would become los because there's one masculine and one feminine, and this is the only time we let the masculine rule. Okay, now let's practice. Looking at the definite article, you have to figure out, would it be lo, la, los, or las? Okay, I'm just going to switch pen colors. Okay, so looking at the definite article of huevo, notice that all the other definite articles other than el are the same for the DOPs, but L becomes lo. So I might put a little note here. If I see an L, it's going to become lo. Everything else stays the same. So el huevo becomes lo, la tocineta, la, el bocadillo, lo, la servilleta, la, and I'm just looking here. Now, the last one is kind of a challenge. El pimiento y la sal. I have an L and a la, which means they come together to be los. So this will be los. Now, pause the video if you need to. Go through and complete the rest of the creamy peach colored box and practice your DOPs. Okay, I hope you did well with that. Let's go on and talk about the placement of the DOPs. So now that we know what it is, we have to figure out where to put it in the sentence. Well, the direct object goes before the conjugated verb in a sentence. But the direct object pronouns can also be attached to the end of an infinitive verb. If you're struggling with that word infinitive verb, you need to remember an infinitive verb is the whole verb that ends in AR, ER, or IR. Okay, let's look. ¿Quién cocina la tostada? Look at how la tostada jumped to before the verb. Yo la cocina. Who cooks the toast? I cook it. But in Spanish, you're really saying I it cook because we're going to move it from the end to the front of the verb. ¿Bebes el jugo de naranja? Sí, voy a beberlo. Now you can see the DOP is attached to the end of the full infinitive beber. Do you drink the orange juice? Yes, I am going to drink it. So here you can see we have the full verb beber and we attach the it to the end. Muy bien. Now for the práctica. Use the definite article of the underlined noun in the questions to help you choose the correct DOP to complete the answers. Number 1. ¿Quién sirve la comida? Mi madre. Okay, so look at your DOP list, lo, la, los, and las, and look at the definite article of the item in the question. Remember, the only one that is different is L becomes lo to say it. So la stays la. Who serves the food? My mom serves it. Okay. Pause the video if you need to do dos y tres on your own. What does los huevos become and el jugo become? Okay, our last practice. Vamos a tener una fiesta, pero ¿quién tiene la comida? So we're going to have a party, but we don't know who has what. And it says in the blue box, who has the party food? State who has the food item using the DOP. Follow the model. Let's look at the model. So we've named los refrescos los vasos, and then we put it into a sentence using a DOP to say who has it. Now the verb tener is over here in the gray box. Remember, tener, to have. And these are the conjugations. Yo tengo, tú tienes, él, ella, usted tiene, nosotros tenemos y ellos tienen. So I'll do the first one with you. El refresco. Well, what if I want to say I have it, right? So I'm going to start with yo. What's the verb tener that matches yo? I have to leave a space though, because remember, my DOP goes in front of it. Yo blank tango. So what's the DOP for el refresco? Looking at L, we know that the DOP is going to be low. Who has the refreshments or the pop? Yo lo tengo. I have it. Okay. Complete queso, papitas fritas, y los pollos. When you've completed those 3, that's the end of the notes for today.